Welcome to the Pathways to Wellbeing, where we explore holistic approaches to health, wellness, and personal growth. My name is Sophia Soul, the co-creator of Sacred You. On today's show, we are joined by the incredible Jennifer Smith, a visionary leader in energy healing and personal transformation. Jennifer has transitioned from a successful corporate career in engineering to follow her calling as a Reiki master, a quantum healer, and a mindset and spiritual coach. Today, we will delve into the heart-centered conversation about awakening the new earth, exploring consciousness and the profound intersection of energy, healing, and personal empowerment. May you enjoy today's episode. If you would like to help Sacred You reach more people and create a ripple of positive change, please hit that subscribe button. Give us a like or check us out at www.sacredyou, that's the letter U.love, for more valuable resources. So let's get started on today's conversation. Welcome to today's conversation. With me is the beautiful Jennifer Smith, and we're going to be talking about a really interesting conversation, something that is close to my heart, and that is awakening the new earth and everything about consciousness and energy and healing. So welcome, Jennifer. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm looking forward to our conversation today.
So am I. So tell us, Jennifer, how did you get into this whole field of consciousness and healing and energy and everything else? Tell us your story.
So my story, actually, most of my time I have worked in the engineering field. And in 2020, that's whenever I made the transition, the leap of faith to go out and do the work that I'm doing now, which is coaching, mindset and spiritual coaching, and also Reiki healing and teaching that to others, as well as quantum energy healing. People often ask, how did you make that jump? How did you go from an engineering, more data-driven into this spiritual type work? And I think it's just it was a perfect combination of circumstances that had happened. So I think all through life we go through, we have questions, we start to elevate in our awareness. But in 2020 is really the culmination point of everything. And it was due to the world being shut down during the COVID timeframe. That was a time for me to really sit back and say, is this really what I want to be doing the rest of my life? What is it that I really want to do? Because prior to that time, like many other people, we get up, we go to work, we take care of the kids, we go to bed, we do it all over again. And we don't really have time to sit down, or we don't take the time to sit down and say, what is it that I really want? And I started getting mentored by Bob Proctor at that time. He was a contributor to The Secret, and his teachings are very profound. And he was teaching a lot of things that I've never heard taught in that way before. And when you hear truth, you can feel it. You can feel it in your body, right? I just went along with his teachings, and I set a really large goal for myself. And I just followed the signs that the universe was giving me. And I decided that I was going to resign from the corporate world, take a leap of faith, and do the work that I'm doing now.
Isn't that interesting? And first of all, thank you for sharing that. And yes, the pandemic as such, COVID was such a pivotal moment for so many people. And thank you for sharing how you also got mentored by Bob Proctor. That would have been an amazing time with that, to be able to learn from someone who had so many gifts, and not just gifts, but really studied, practiced what he taught. So thank you so much for sharing that. And can you tell us if we can go into a little bit more, maybe what Bob taught you for yourself, what are some other practical ways that people can begin to bridge the gap between the physical plane, everything that we do in our daily life, and also the non-physical, the quantum part of it. What can we do to really get in touch with our quantum lives, our quantum energy?
The biggest thing is to slow down our thinking, right? All the thoughts that are going on in our heads. So meditation time and quiet time. For me, I thought the process through Bob, and this is what I teach other people too, because sometimes we want to try to understand things intellectually. And before we just let go and trust and really connect spiritually. And these are the type of things that I teach other people. Just the same process that I learned through, because it works for everybody, no matter what level of awareness that they're at. Because you set a large goal and then you just start through the process. And that's when it starts pulling everything to the surface. All of our gifts, all of our clairvoyance that all of us have deep down inside of us. It's just dormant abilities that we're not practicing because we haven't developed or learned how to tap into that, and how to quiet our mind and to really tap into what's available to us.
So true, isn't it? And I totally agree with you on one from, but I can be very much into my head, very much, especially with all the computer stuff and everything else, that we forget or don't make time, because we've all got the time, but don't make it a priority to really tap into that deeper consciousness, that, where we can know all the answers and stuff. And for you, Jennifer, with your practice and the people that you're talking to, besides just being in the head, what are some other common blocks, unconscious blocks that people face in being able to really slow down and experience that quantum energy that we all have? And how do we release these blocks?
How do we release? That's a good question. That's a good question. The unconscious blocks. I think the only way to really remove the blocks, and there's many different methods on, you work with healers all over the world, that there's many modalities that can help remove some of these unconscious blocks. There are wonderful ones out there. The ones I work with are mindset, because I believe that if people, a very practical way, if people can just quiet their mind, and journaling will sometimes bring things to the surface that you can recognize. You have to bring it to the awareness from the subconscious up to the surface of your conscious awareness in order to clear some of the blockages that we have. And so people can do this work on their own. I always say it's inner work, but also in the healing room, whenever you're in a relaxed state, and we bring in the energy and we have the higher frequency energy that can raise some of the lower frequencies out to release those blocks as well. My intuition that's very strong is feeling. So I can feel where people's blocks are in their energy field. And that way I can help them along on more positive aspects and things that they might be able to work on. Because sometimes they might be thinking and bring those blocks back to themselves. So you want to keep them moving forward in a positive mindset, moving forward, and not continuing to bring these type of blocks to them.
It's an ongoing practice, isn't it? An ongoing journey. We release one block and then it allows another one. But I know
Yes.
from experience, one thing we don't want to do is remain stuck, especially if we want to experience all the magnificence that this world can bring when we're tuned in to the energy of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's talk about a new earth and your vision. What does that mean? What does a new earth mean to you, a new world?
The new earth, that was one of my largest visions whenever I started working with Bob, that kind of propelled me into this work. It took me into energy work because I really needed to understand what is the energy. I needed to understand what's the energy field around us, what's the energy field around the earth, and really looking forward to the future of this new earth, which I've heard people call it many different things: new earth, new world, heaven on earth. But that's what it appears. That's what my vision is. So I guess the question would be, what would people envision for themselves for a heaven on earth? That's what it would be. For me, I think we are in the times of instantaneous manifestation. And that's really getting to the belief and the knowing in order for that to happen. We have to trust that we are well taken care of because we are. And the only thing that blocks all this abundance and the goodness coming to us is whenever we have the worries and doubts. So we were born with everything we need. We already have everything we need. To really take a deep dive inside, if we just did the things that we know, that's the one thing. If people would just do what they already know, they would already be halfway there. So the heaven on earth would be that, the instantaneous manifestation, the reverse aging, just living a really good life where people would still be of service to one another, but they would be expressing their gifts. So it wouldn't be like the traditional 9 to 5 job working in that way. It would be expressing your gifts in a way and what your purpose is here on earth. And yeah, I just see it as a beautiful time. And I'm already experiencing some of that. So it's very good.
And that's so true, isn't it? You can actually experience that now. What I call crazy world. People say that it's a little bit chaotic, and depending on where you are and your beliefs, which we won't get into, some people it's not looking the best. But can you tell us more, Jennifer, when you say that you're experiencing New Earth now, what does that mean and how do you experience it? What steps, what practical tips do you follow that you can bring a new world into this world now?
And well, the practical tips would be to only focus on the things that you want and do not give any energy to things you don't want. Our thought energy is so powerful that it penetrates all through the cosmos. And that's why mindset is so important, because if we can focus on that we want, that's what we're going to see. And it's with people, and we create our own reality. So when we go out into the world, the vibration that we're putting off is the vibration that we'll see around us as well. So the real work is really just working on yourself, me working on me, on my vibration, so I can create my reality, and then helping other people do the same.
Just working on ourselves and maintaining our vibration, even in a challenging time. But if we can all do that, I can just imagine the world, how the world would change if every single person just took responsibility for their own vibration.
Yes, responsibility. Absolutely. Yeah. And there's different ways to do that. It's what are we feeding into our body? So it's taking care of our physical health on the foods that we eat. And for me, I eat anything that's natural from the earth, and then really work on the mindset, my thoughts. And really, if you can observe and have no thoughts at all and observe, which is possible to do, it takes practice. That's whenever all the miracles and magic start to happen in front of you. And that's when you're aware of it being there.
Miracles do happen, and it is possible just to be in such a state of mind or where it is just complete stillness and you are just observing. So powerful. And that's when the instant manifestations can definitely happen. So thank you for sharing that so very much. Can we go into a little bit? I've got a few questions here, but let's talk about quantum energy. And that you do research. Tell us more about the quantum energy, and are there anything that you're really focusing on in your research and your practice of your business, and how that can help us in day-to-day lives?
Yeah, if we go back to my background in engineering, I worked for a motor company. And so researching that back, actually, if any sort of passion that people have or any work that they're doing, if they just would research back to the roots of where that came from, everybody would get to the same answer, that everything is energy. In my case, I worked for a motor company, and just researching back, how was this invented? AC/DC motors. Nikola Tesla invented that. And the technology that we have today is more from the electromagnetic. Towards the later years of Tesla's life, he had tapped into the quantum field, which is not the technology we use today. There's more than just the electromagnetic field, which we're all using today, which is all the Newtonian formulas, all the formulas I've learned in engineering school. Yes, all those work. But now we're tapped into the quantum field, which is available to us, all of us, more predominantly after the 2000 timeframe. So there's energy healing modalities out there. And the reason after the 2000 was because that's whenever it was more accessible on the planet. We weren't ready as a collective yet for that, but we are now because we're raising our vibration. And so it's energy healing modalities that can be learned. I learned this. It's called Avesa healing. And I noticed just through my research on the Reiki branches, even at that time, they started having holy fire Reiki. There's different ones where different symbols, different elevated energies for healing is available. So the quantum energy it feels a little different. Reiki, like the Sui Reiki, I would say is more of a gentle feeling, subtle all over the body, and it's great for physical healing and very good. And then the quantum healing's a little bit stronger and you can feel it. And what I do with the quantum healing is really anchor in the lower three chakras, the root, the sacral, lower three chakras, which is where we hold a lot of our stresses and worries and fears, right? So if we can really stabilize those and anchor into the heart chakra and live our life from there, that puts you in a higher vibration. And it also loosens up any of the lower vibrations that don't serve us.
What does that mean? Anchoring, like to operate from the heart chakra, for people out there who's listening who might not really understand. Like, I mean, I do, and to come from the heart chakra, that space all the time. What does that really mean for you? And what are some practical steps that we can take to be able to do that, living in this crazy world, that we can come from our heart all the time?
Yeah, good question. I believe that we have the 7 main chakras in our physical body, which I'm sure most of your audience is familiar with that. And then we have many more chakra system up that is outside our physical body. So stabilizing the lower 3, that's eliminating doubt, worries, fears, self-judgment. So all of these lower emotional states. So the practical way to do it would be through your mindset and to understand who we are as beings and that we have this divine, each one of us have this divine perfection within us, and to remember that and to always work on the positive side of things instead of bringing the negative aspects into life. And that's one practical way that you can stay in that heart space area. It's also, it really, from an energetic standpoint, you're opening it up. You can feel it. You can feel that heart space open. And it's more an unconditional love, non-judgment about other people or towards yourself, because more people have a hard time with judgment for themselves. Like they judge themselves more. Self-love would be another practical method.
And it's certainly possible. It is challenging in this world, but step by step, just daily little things. Like I said, self-love just on a daily thing, and that can work wonders.
Gratitude is wonderful.
Yeah.
Every day, gratitude. What are you grateful for? Because there's always things to be grateful for, and that helps raise the vibration as well.
Because there's always things, no matter what, the littlest things, especially in living in a world of technology, because if it wasn't for technology, we wouldn't be talking today.
That's right.
Jennifer, tell us more about you, like your business. And what do you help people with? What are some of the things that people can come and see you?
Yeah, sure. And one more thing I wanted to add to our last is forgiveness. Forgiveness is huge too. Forgiveness is huge. So I wanted to get that in there as well.
Yeah.
So for my business and what I do is I do energy healing. People can contact me. I have a website where people can schedule appointments. I do work in my town at a local doctor's office. Dr. Kunovich, she does acupuncture and chiropractic, and there's massage there, and I do energy healing work there. I also do distant healing, so I can heal at a distance, anyone, and no matter where they are in the world. So I do offer that service. I also teach people Reiki because I feel like Reiki is really one of the foundational steps from bridging from just being in a physical world and only focusing on that, and then opening yourself up to more of a what's available for us from this spiritual side of things. And it's a great bridge for people to start. It's great for self-healing. And then I do the mindset coaching too, to really give people all the tools they need in order to have a really strong mindset to start living the life that they want, any goal they choose, and to start living from that heart space area.
Just take a moment, Jennifer, just to really honor you and to thank you for providing that to people all over the world. That it doesn't matter where you are, and for everyone who's listening or watching our podcast, it really doesn't matter where you are in the world. Do reach out to Jennifer, because as she said, distant healing and mindset, we can do that no matter where, especially in today's world. I've been really fortunate most of my life because I was born with a genetic condition. I've had various opportunities to experience distant healing in various different forms, and it's incredible. You don't have to be in the same room. It helps, but you don't have to be, because we're just energy. And energy,
Yes.
it's intention and it's focus. So I said, I'd just like to honor you to really doing that, because that's not just helping the individual, it's helping to heal the world.
Yeah.
The energy of the world. So thank you so much for sharing that. Is there anything else that you would like to share, Jennifer, before we wrap up? Is there any question that I could have asked you?
That I'd like to share. I think that touches on the main things. We're in really special times right now, and I'm really excited about that. We hear about the golden age, the new earth, the new world, and that is available for people. And there's so much good work being done by thank you for the service you provide around the world and all the people you work with. And there's so much work being done by healers, by light workers, that I feel like we are really doing this together, raising the vibrational frequency of the earth, helping people, making these things, making people aware that this is possible. This is here for them. And it's in every country, right? It's in every country. We're across the world from each other right now, and we're doing it here in the US. You're doing all the good work in Australia. And I'm really excited about where this is going.
Because you can feel it. You can feel the energy in the world, no matter what is going on in the 3D world, in the physical world. There's so much good, so much powerful healing and energy work happening that is very slowly making an impact, but it's compounding. So that impact is picking up speed. And like myself, I'm very excited about what's coming too. And I'm very excited to be able to chat to you today.
Yes, I am very grateful for this conversation. And we didn't talk much about what was happening on the earth energies that are coming in, but did you this month, November has been pretty phenomenal and profound on the energy that's coming in. And so we're getting help from a lot of different places to move for this movement forward.
Well, and as you said, it's November, but also moving on into December and next year, 2025 is going to be fantastic, very powerful and stuff.
Yeah.
Would you like to share anything more? about the energy of the earth and what's happening and everything.
I don't make like predictions that are coming. I journal every day because I get so much, because I can feel the energies coming in and I get messages. And that's one thing that I would like to do is start working with you and other people to say, okay, what is it? What is it that came into you today? What information did you receive? Because we have a lot of help and we have a lot of information that's coming in, and it's just going to be wonderful. It's going to be wonderful. I don't know everything that's going to happen. I just know it's going to be good.
And that, if I can say, is the only thing we really need to know. And
Yes.
the only thing that we need to keep remembering is that no matter what happens, it's going to be good. And we are creating that.
Yes.
So again, Jennifer, thank you ever so much for coming in and joining us today for the Pathways to Wellbeing podcast. I've really enjoyed it. For everyone who's listening or watching, do click on those links below and reach out to Jennifer, even if it's just for a chat or some fantastic distant healing, no matter where you are in the world. It is incredible. So thank you ever so much.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us on this transformative journey today. It has been an honor to share this space with Jennifer Smith and explore the profound ways energy, healing, and mindset can help us awaken to our fullest potential. Click on the link below and reach out to Jennifer if you would like to know more. If you have enjoyed today's conversation, please show your support by hitting that subscribe button, giving us a like, or sharing this episode with someone who would benefit. And don't forget, you can explore more resources for personal growth and connection at www.sacredu, that's the letter U, .love. Let's step into this journey of self-discovery and transformation together, knowing that as we raise our consciousness, we elevate the world around us. Stay inspired and remember, you have everything within you to create a life of abundance and purpose. Until next time, take care and keep shining your light.